Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing well. Today's video, I'm short on time. I do only have an hour that available to do some crafting, so I am just going to start this video by just starting a 1 hour timer, just so that I don't overdo it. And I know I'm not going to be running late for everything else in my plans for today. So, today's video, can we make a journal out of 6x6 paper pads? The answer is yes, very easily. Now obviously I have used other materials to make the journal other than the 6x6 pads, but essentially everything inside of the journal and everything decorated is using the 6x6. So I'll start by showing you the actual journal that I made. So I can't actually remember how much it, what it measures, so let me just grab, so it's 3.5 inches, that is, by 6.5 inches. Here's the spine. 1 inch spine as well, perfect. Okay, so this is our cover. I've just put some silk on the front to tie it up because it's jam packed, and you'll see in just a minute when I open it up, it's huge. So on the cover, all I done was made a pocket. The theme of the 6x6 pad that I used was called Cute as a Button, and it was all sewing themed, so everything you see here will be sewing themed, and that's what's been used to make. So I've made a total of, if I break it down, I made a total of 6 signature covers, then 6 pockets to go on the signature covers, a total of 12 tags, so some pull-out pieces that go onto the covers. I made 2 of those, the cover pocket and the cover tags. These 2 are the only ones that are meant to stay in there, and then 5 journaling spots. So these are the 2 tags that are meant to kind of just stay in the front of the journal like so, and then these are made to be kind of popped into your journal wherever you want it to go, so over the page with a paper clip. But these are just extra journaling spots that I've made with the scraps and some plain paper. Oh, and that one is just a little folded one. So we've made those. I will show you obviously everything. And we've made these 2 tags as well. These again were from scraps, just strips of scraps. And then we have the inside of the book. So the inside of the book, it does have 6 signatures, and on the inside covers, what I've done is I've made these little pull-out bits here. I'm not quite finished it, because what I wanted to do was similar to what I've done on the journaling spots. I just wanted to add some plain paper to it, so once I can do that, obviously I will, but yeah, I'll show you how to do that as well. And it also comes out on the other side. I think there's a few more pages on this side, so there's quite a few there, and they all fold out. It just gives you so much more journaling space to put photos or write or whatever it is that you want to do. And because this is such a, well, it's not such a small journal, but because it is a small journal, I've made it so that the signatures can be taken out. So you can take them out of the actual journal, lay them flat on your desk, and actually draw or write or whatever it is that you're going to do. You can do that easily without having to fight all the other 5 signatures. So we made the 6 signatures like so, and also the pockets, and I tried to make a different pocket for each signature. So this first one is just a wrap around, it goes around the back as well with a little curved edge. So we've got 2 tags in there and there. This one only has one. Yep, this page is plain, but it has 2 pockets here with 2 little tags on the inside of there. This one was the same as the first, but we've just done it at a different angle with a tag and the same on the back. This one I cut one of the pages to cut the corners off. Basically, I kind of like folded it in half and then cut the corners off and wrapped that around, and that has given us 2 triangle pockets. My tag was stuck. This one I just cut the paper down, popped a little circle hole in it and a tag, and then that just folds around to the other side as well. This one is exactly the same, just a bit wider, and I rounded off the corners, and that's on both sides as well. And obviously all of the tags inside were made with some extra just random cardstock that I had and the 6x6 papers. The inside of the signatures, let me just pull this one. So we have, that is the signature cover that we made. Then I just had some food dyed paper, just copy paper, A4 paper. Then we have ivory paper, some book page, and another sheet of food dyed paper. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 pages inside each signature, and there's 6, so there's lots and lots and lots of room for journaling. And then obviously you've got these pull out bits here as well, and to be honest with you, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really, really good, really happy with it. So I am now going to show you exactly how I made this 6x6 paper pad book, and I'm going to be using this one. So because like I said, I've only got an hour, and whatever I get done, and then I'll come back in a later video and either finish it off or show you bits and pieces. I kind of got some bits sorted ahead of time, so I knew that this was one that I was going to use for my YouTube show and tell, so I did print out these 2 A4 sheets of paper. So I've just got this one here, and then this one, which is exactly the same but just a bit faded, and I just made it on Canva. I just kind of looked at the flowers that were featured inside of this little book and just tried to copy it basically, and took the colours and everything and just made my own little pattern, and that is what I'm going to use to make my cover. And then I've just pre-cut my cover, my template for my cover. So I've written on here the information that you guys would need if you want to follow along with this and make your own 6x6 journal. So the cover pieces, you'll need 2 pieces. It doesn't have to be mount board, by the way. It can be just really thick cardstock, it can be a cereal box, packaging, whatever you can grab and lay your hands on or prefer to use. So it just needs to be 16.2 centimetres high by 8.5 centimetres wide, and that's 2 covers that you'll need. Your spine is 2.5 centimetres by 16.2 centimetres, and you only need the one of those. So what I done with the previous journal was I just gutted out this pad basically and separated, because you get duplicates. Sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 4. I think as you go through you start to get more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so the first 2 pages you get 3 pages, but then as you go further on you get 4. So I just separated them into piles so that I wasn't using the same throughout. So this is where we start to get 4 of each pattern, so I'm just going to make an extra pile. So we've ended up with 4 piles. You may have a book that only gives you 2 of each page. It really doesn't matter, just do this how you want to do it. I'm going to show you how I done it, but incorporate your paper pads and make your own process. So all I done then was just decided on which pile was going to be for what. So if I just stack these like so. So this pile, oh, and I used this to label, I just cut it up. So I've just got 4 pieces there and some paper clips. So we're going to need signatures. So these are going to be, this pile here will be my signature covers. So I'll just signature covers, and this just kind of just helps me get a little bit organised so I know exactly where I am and what I have to do next, because I don't think I'm obviously going to finish this journal in this hour-long video. So we have our signature covers done there. Then we wanted signature pockets, so we'll do signature pockets, and I keep these labels like throughout, even when they are made or ready to be made. I just keep them separated like so. Then we wanted to make some tags, so I labelled this as tags, spots, as in journal spots, and scraps. So whatever we can make out of whatever's left, that's what we will do. And then this pile is going to be the pullouts, cover pullouts. Okay. Perfect. So if you are following along but your 6x6 paper pad doesn't have 4 of every design, as long as you have 8 sheets for tags, spots and scraps, 8 for your signature pockets, 8 for your signature covers, and then 6 sheets for your cover pullouts, you'll be able to follow this tutorial as I do it. 6 for your pullouts, 8 for your signature covers, 8 for your pockets, and 8 just as a leftover tags, journaling spots and scraps. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is obviously make our cover. So I'll just bring in the pre-cut cover and the 2 sheets that I would like to use. So I'm going to use this brighter colour printout as my outside book cover, and then the duller one, the one that's a bit faded, that will go on the inside. So because I've made this just a kind of like a seamless pattern, it doesn't matter where I make my book or put my book covers. I could put them along the bottom here, along the middle, it doesn't matter, the pattern is not going to be affected. So I'm just going to flip it over, pull in my 2 covers and my spine, and just glue those into place. So to do that, I am going to use my bookbinding tools. So I've got a ruler, which will come in handy later, the spacer bars, which will also come in handy later, and this T-bar spacer, which I'm going to use now. So we'll start off by just making sure I have got enough room on this sheet of paper, which I have. Perfect. Let's glue down our first cover. Like I say, it doesn't have to be anywhere precise. I've got enough room to play with, and the pattern doesn't need to be central or anything like that. So just glue, and then I'll just place that down there. now grab my spacer bar, line it up with the first cover piece and prepare my spine, and then glue that completely lined up with the spacer bar, so it gives me that space in between for my spine to open and close without interfering with the cover. Then we're just going to move the spacer bar over one and prepare our second cover. These little spacers and the ruler and that comes in a bundle set which you can buy on our Etsy store, which is always linked below. So if you ever see me using anything that looks 3D printed, just know that it will 100% be linked below for you. So that's all nice and straight, nice and even. I'm just going to flip this over and just reinforce all of that glue in to make sure that the glue now reaches in all the nooks and crannies. It doesn't matter too much because I am going to fold over, so nothing's going to fall off or peel off or anything like that. Okay, perfect. So just put that to the side. Now I'm going to use my spacer bar and a pencil and just draw around using the spacer bar, just placing it around my mount board and just draw around the outside of that spacer bar there. How many times can I say spacer bar? Should I just say it one more time just for good measure? No, I won't. You just want to flip, I'm not going to say it again, you just want to flip your bar all the way around, and it just gives you that even space around the edge of your book covers so that it's nice and neat when you fold it in, and you don't have half of your book page coming in like this and then this bit with only a tiny piece at the top. So they're definitely worth looking into, spacer bars, definitely. I said it again, sorry. Okay. Spacer bar down, leave it alone, never speak of the spacer bar again. Now I'm going to use my ruler and I'm just going to get my corners drawn in. So I'm only using a mount board, so I think a 2 should suffice. It should be fine. I'm going to then just draw along the line. So I've just butted this corner with the corner of the cover page like so, and just drawing a line. I think there might be glue there that's stopping that from drawing, but we know where it is. And just again continue all the way around the book cover, placing it on the corner and drawing along that rulered edge to give us our perfectly mitered corners. Great. Okay, so now all you want to do is cut where you've just drawn. So you literally want to cut this straight line and then come in and cut your corners and continue down this straight line all the way around. You can do this with a craft knife or you can do it with scissors. I am going to do it with scissors. I'll speed it up for you. Okay, so that is what you are left with when you have cut around all of your drawn lines. See, those tools just make it so easy. You've got the perfectly spaced spines and covers, and then you've got the perfect mitered corners with your perfectly spaced edges. Now all I do is I just pre-fold my cover just so that it's easier when I'm gluing it, because sometimes it springs back. So I just like to give it a quick fold so it knows exactly where it should be going. And then we can apply our glue. So you just want to apply your glue to every flap all the way along. You can do this all at once or one by one. I'm going to do mine one by one. And obviously I've left my markings on this mount board, but it really doesn't matter because it is all going to get covered. So don't stress, you could have the ugliest cereal box as your cover and it is all going to be covered up and disguised, so don't worry. I do like to do my edges, the two edges first, side edges. I don't know why. There isn't any rules that say you have to do it a particular way. I just prefer to do it this way. I do also really like to use my scraper for this as well because it just keeps it down. My fingers, they don't seem to hold it down strong enough and it just keeps popping back up. So now we can do our top and bottom. Okay, and there we have our cover piece. Look at those perfect corners. All four are absolutely perfect. Lovely. Okay, so now we can just cover the inside piece. So what I tend to do is just draw around my book, and that will give me the exact measurement of my book. Like so. I'm just using the where it's printed, I'm using that as one of my guidelines here. Just jumping in here, as I think I might have made the next part quite confusing, I'm just going to skip ahead and just tell you that if you just cut out a 20 by 15.7 centimetre square or rectangle, that will provide you with the perfect cover piece, inside cover piece. Then I just like to go around and mark in from each side 0.25 centimetres in on each edge, like so, so that when we are finished we have essentially taken off 0.5 centimetre off of the sides and the top. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now you'll see I have 4 inner lines that I'm now going to cut inside of. Perfect. So then when we bring in our cover, place that there, we are now going to have the perfect fit. So we've got a nice little border of the outside cover all the way around our inside cover. I'm also just going to really quickly ink around the edge of this piece of paper. Perfect. You can skip that step obviously if you don't want to ink, you don't have to, but that is what it now looks like. So we're just going to glue our cover down. What I like to do is I just like to on the actual cover sheet I just put a line of glue all the way around each edge, like so, so that then all my edges are completely covered. Move that to the side and then just apply glue to the mount board or whatever it is that you've used as your covers. That was a hell of a lot of glue there. Why did that come out so much? That was way too much glue. And I've got nothing on my spine. I mean, really, it's going great, isn't it? Right, so then just carefully pick up your cover piece. Obviously, if you've got a design that it needs to be the right way, it's directional, then obviously make sure yours is in the right direction. Mine isn't, thankfully, so it doesn't matter. Then just place that as centrally as you possibly can and flatten out. I'm going to use my spreader just to make sure that all the glue gets into all the corners and all of the outside edges. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that to dry for a little bit, but that is our cover well and truly made. I love the colours of that. I think it matches excellently with the papers. Super happy with how that come out. Love it. I'm not sure, I don't think I'm going to decorate the outside of this journal. I think I might just leave it as it is. It's quite jazzy as it is, decorative, so I probably will just leave it. So now that's had some time to dry, I'm just going to fold my covers and spine like so. It's quite hard to see where they are, but obviously you get there in the end. Just give it a gentle tease. There we go. And there you have the most perfect cover. Beautiful. And you've got the perfect amount of space in between your spines and covers so that nothing gets in the way, and it's perfect. I love it. I kind of feel like those flowers are directional, but they're not, are they? No. Okay. On to the next stages. So we can put our cover to the side. That's now made. Thoroughly impressed that I've done that within the hour. Let's bring back in our papers. So let's start with the most simple of makes, which is our signature covers. And all we need to do to these is fold them in half. Now you can, if you really want to, you can ink the edges of all of these, or you can get your stamps out and do some designs on the back, because these aren't double-sided. Yours may be double-sided, so you might not need to do anything. I'm going to leave mine plain. My other ones were left plain as well. You could round the corners, you could do whatever you want to do. You could put little tabs on the side, but whatever it is that you want to do it now, so that then it's all done and it's dusted and you don't have to worry about it or keep coming back and confusing yourself. So I'm not going to do anything to my signatures other than add in the pockets, which I showed you in the previous journal. So for now, all I need to do is fold my covers. Okay, so that is all of our signatures now folded into place, and I'm just going to pop our little paper clip and label just so that we know, because like I say, I'll probably put this away for a couple of days and then forget what I've done, so I'll just pop them inside there. And then we want to make the next easiest thing will be the cover pullouts. So essentially the cover pullouts were exactly the same as the signature covers. So again, all you want to do is fold them in half. So each and every page you want to fold in half. Okay, so that is our cover pieces all ready to be made into the pull-out. So all I do is I have obviously one on the front and one on the back. So I'm just going to put them into two piles, separating them as I kind of see how I want them to lay. So I want that pattern with that pattern. We'll put these two together, and then what should we do? That one and that one, or that one and that one? Oh, I think we'll go with that way. Yes. So those three are going to go like that. Now to make the pull-out, okay, so to make the actual pull-out pieces, all we need, if I bring in my cover just so that I can easily show you. So imagine that's glued down, you can't move it. This is one of your fold out flaps. You just want to take your next sheet of folded paper and place the fold over that flap that's standing up. And those two pieces there that fall together, they are going to be glued together. Then you're going to then push this down and lift this flap up and do the exact same. Put your fold over the flap and that will then make your fold out. Okay, so that is now all glued and it folds out like so. You've got the full pattern this side and then that half pattern this side. So that will then glue into your inside pocket. The other one, I'm going to do that with you because I glued it kind of off screen. So I'm going to take you through the exact step-by-step process here. So we want the fold out to fold outwards rather than inwards. So choosing our paper pattern, I think actually I want a blue on the bottom. Other way, that's it. So we want the fold on the outside like so. Then our middle piece, we're just going to place this fold over like that so that we've got like a little zigzag. And if we just glue that now, trying to save any confusion, so we'll just glue this down. I don't know what's going on with my glue, it's either coming out way too much or it's not coming out at all, which is really annoying. So then we just want to place this one right along that centre fold of the one below, obviously making sure it's nice and straight and that it doesn't get in the way of folding this over that. Perfect. So then we have the start of our pull out. So now this piece is going to pull out like so, and up here we want to place our last 6x6 paper and just glue that into place. There we go. Now obviously you can choose if you want to have, I've only used 6 sheets in total for this, but if you wanted to use 8, 10, 12, 20, whatever, you can incorporate however many pieces of paper that you would like. It's totally up to you. So we'll just fold this into place like so, and there we have our second pull out. So there's one and then there's two. So this one, once it's stuck onto the cover, I just pop my finger there, once it's stuck onto the cover you can pull it out this way and also that way, and the same with this one, that way and that way. On this one, the pull out pieces, I just cut a little circle just to say like, hey, there's something here, come and pull me kind of thing. But I'm actually, I think for this one, I'm actually going to cut down here and then put the tag. So it just adds, you get more pattern basically. So what I'll do is I'll just move that. And then just cut 2 squares off. And this can go in our scrap pile. It may come in handy later on. So you'll see now we have this, and I'll just grab the circle punch. Oh, why is that done that? Now it's stuck. That's annoying, isn't it? Obviously that isn't working, so I'll just have to cut it myself. How annoying is that? I don't know why that isn't working. It works fine until I put paper in it. I have to get my husband to have a look at that. Might just need a bit of a sharpen, I'm not sure. Okay, but anyway, so that is now how that looks. So you've got like 2 patterns, and I think that looks a lot better. And then I'll just do the same with the other side, and I'll just take 2 squares off. I'm not going to use my circle punch on this one because it's obviously not working. so I'm not going to ruin my paper. Keep that. But obviously once I do put my circle in, it will look the same. So now you have your 2 pull-out pieces made. There we go, and then just literally just put our label and paper clip back so that we know what we've made and what we need to do next. Where is my other pile? Okay, right, so we have our signature covers, our cover pull-outs and our cover all made and ready to go. So where are we? How long have we got? So we've got about 7 minutes left. Okay, well I'm not going to start anything because 7 minutes isn't going to be enough for me to do anything. But when we come back, which will probably be next weekend, I will make a start on the signature pockets and also start making all of the tags and the journaling spots. So things like this. So these ones are like fold over, so you can put them over the top of your journal page and then paper clip them into place like so. So you've then got some decoration, or you could just have it paper clipped onto like that and then journal spot. Then this one is exactly the same, just a bit longer, can go either which way. And then this is kind of just like a journaling card really, so it can go inside a pocket or it can be attached to the page. So we'll make some of those. I'm not sure if I'm going to make tags that necessarily look like this, where I've used the scraps and made them into a tag. I'm not sure. At the moment I only have these 2 strips of scrap, but obviously I will have more than that once I've done other bits and pieces. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope I've sparked some ideas for a little mini journal. I bought my 6x6 on a whim. They were on sale, and I just thought I'll get them and I'll see what I can make. And I thought, hold on a minute, I wonder if I can actually make a full journal out of them. And yeah, I'm really happy with what I have made. So yeah, next week I will upload the final part of this, where we will make tags, signature pockets, and obviously complete our actual signatures as well. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. Bye.